Hey everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the Officer Adda 24/7. First of all, happy Raksha Bandhan to all my dear brothers as well as their wives. Okay, happy Raksha Bandhan from Nikkita's mom's side. And in this Raksha Bandhan, I just pray to the God because in my opinion, people want to crack this paper in the single attempt. So that's why it's my best wishes to all of you. Okay, because nowadays we are just tying the Rakhi to the bhabis also. Okay, so that's why happy Raksha Bandhan to all of you again. So now class, today we are just going to end the law of limitation and tax law. So today we are going to end module C. Is that okay? So now let's start with the session. So first of all, law of limitation. So what is exactly the law of limitation? See class, one thing you have to remember that ignorance of law is no excuse. Ignorance of law is no excuse. You have to know your law. Suppose suppose in any house the theft happened, okay. Now that person is going into police station after 10 years. So after 10 years, if that person is going to police station, so guys, is that possible for police to just file the FIR? Is that possible? The answer is no, okay. Because after 10 years, the evidence will be totally breakdown, okay. So law of limitation play an important role in the filing a suit, appeal or application in court, okay. So in suit also this limitation applies. Suit means basically we have done, suppose in Consumer Protection Act. So if I just give you the example of suit, okay. So class, in suit, suppose right now we have discussed, suppose if X person want to file the case in district commission, so he have a 2 year of limitation. So that is a limitation of suit. Now the next example, appeal. So in appeal class, we know that from DRT to DRAT we have 30 days in which we can file the case. 30 days class. Is that okay? So we have done suit, we have done appeal, application. If I say you the example of application, so suppose if we want to review the recovery certificate, so if we want to file the review application, so we have a 60 days of time in which we can file the review application class. See, okay. So for every suit, for every appeal, okay, and for every application, we can see here, okay, in suit, appeal and application, we have a limitation period, okay. We have to file the limitation period in suit, appeal and application. Is that okay? So suit, appeal, application instituted, preferred made after the prescribed period shall be dismissed, okay, through limitation has not been set up as a defense. Important point. Done class? Cool. Next one. The Act provide exclusion of certain period while computing the period of limitation, acknowledgement in writing and the part payment. This is important point. that acknowledgement in writing and the part payment on account of a debt give rise to the fresh period of limitation from the time when acknowledgement was signed. So in the case of acknowledgement, when it was signed, and in the payment, when the payment was made. The schedule to the act provide the limitation period and the times for which is to be computed, class. Cool. So in the Limitation Act, the definition suit does not include appeal application. Tell me the right answer. In the Limitation Act, the definition suit does not include appeal or application. So this is absolutely the true statement. The defendant means what? In any case, suppose there is a two-party X versus Y. X is called plaintiff and Y is called defendant. Plaintiff and defendant. Okay. So defendant is required to set up the plea of limitation if we have to succeed suit instituted beyond the period of limitation. The defendant is required to set up a plea of limitation if he has succeed the suit beyond the period of limitation. Yes, class. The defendant is required to set up the plea of limitation if he has to succeed in a suit instituted beyond the period of limitation. This is absolutely true. A suit is said to be instituted when the plaint means when plaintiff file, that is called plaint, and the plaint reply is called written statement. The plaint reply is called written statement, class. Hanji class, so in this case we can see here this is absolutely right. Okay. Acknowledgement in writing give rise to fresh period of limitation. Acknowledgement in writing give fresh period of limitation. This is absolutely true. Part payment of a debt within the period of limitation entails the plaintiff to compute fresh period of limitation from the date of payment. This is absolutely true. This is absolutely the true one. Limitation for a mortgage suit is 3 years from the date when the mortgage money become due. So for the mortgage, guys, the limitation is 3 years. That is no. This is false. Okay. A suit on demand promissory note can be filed within 3 years from the date on which the demand was made. That is false. Not true. Okay. This is the wrong answer. This is mortgage. 12 years is the limitation. Okay. 12 years is the limitations. Done? So this is all about your what? Limitation Act. Now let's start with the session of tax law. As a business entity, banks are required to comply with essentially two main tax law. The first is your income tax and GST. In its simplest form, income tax is calculated in respect of individual by computing income under the separate head, and thus gross total income is calculated. Tax is deductible at source at the specified rates on making the certain types of payment class. Okay. Okay, class. So, calculating the corporate tax liability is more complicated. There are also separate compliance requirement in respect of the TTS. That is a tax deductible, this one. Okay. That is important. Okay, that's cool. Next, the GST is a single tax on supply of the goods and services right from the manufacturer to the consumer. Credit of inputs tax paid at each stage will be available in the subsequent stage of value. This one, okay. GST replaces various tax including the service tax. With the GST on goods and services, the government is looking to improving the economic by eliminating the cascading system of tax and streamlining the business process in India. Okay, now these are the 5 questions. First of all, let's do the questions. Done, class? So liability to pay income tax. So class, liability to pay income tax on the account of residential status and the place of source of income. This is absolutely the right answer. This is the true statement. This is the true statement. Assessment year represent the period of 12 months beginning from 1st April each year following the relevant financial year. This is true and false. Assessment year. So class, assessment year represent the period of 12 months beginning from 1st April each year and end 31st of March. This is absolutely the true statement. Okay, this is the definition. There is a one calendar year also. So calendar year always start from 1st of January and 31st of December. Previous year is the financial year immediately preceding the assessment year. Previous year is the financial year immediately preceding the assessment year. Previous year. So this is absolutely the true statement. Income tax only on salaries. Hanji class. Income is taxed only on salaries. That is false. This is not on only the salary. Income exempt from tax is to be deducted out of taxable income before computation of tax. Income exempt from tax is to be deducted out of taxable income before computation means that is accounting. So for fifth one, this is false. Okay, it should be added. Assessment of two types, summary assessment and scrutiny assessment. Sixth one. So assessment is of two types. This is absolutely the true statement. Partnership firm, if it has no income, need to be filed a tax return. Yes, class. Seventh one. Partnership firm, if it known income, need not file the tax return. This is false because everyone have to file this one. Everyone have to. Okay? Tax assessed by AO shall be paid within what? Shall be paid within 30 days. Okay? Entire advance tax is to be paid by 15th of March. Entire advance tax is to be paid. This is true. Tax deduction is to be made before making interest payment to non-resident in NRO account. 10th. And what is NRO account? That is a non-resident ordinary account. That is basically for NRI. Okay? That is basically NRI. Done? Done, class? Tax deduction is to be made before making interest payment to the non-resident of this account. So 10th, that is absolutely true. So NRI account, that is basically for the NRI. Okay. Tax deducted at source is to be deposited within 1 week from the end of the month which is to be deducted. Tax deducted at source, that is TDS, is to be deposited within 1 week from the end of the month which is to be deducted. That is true. Person deducting tax is required to file the quarterly return of TDS. Absolutely true. The goods and services is one direct tax for the whole nation. One direct tax? No, that is the indirect one. That is the indirect one. So this is false statement. So guys, that's all for today's, and today on the occasion of Raksha Bandhan, we have a heavy discount. If you want to enroll in the batch, please just click on Adda 24/7. This is our telegram. You can join this telegram also, and we have a special discount. You have to apply the coupon code Y391 for the maximum discount. So apply the coupon code Y391 for the maximum discount. And again guys, happy Raksha Bandhan to all of you. How to purchase? Click on this JAIIB CAIIB December C class. Triple validity is going on. Triple validity means for CAIIB Mahapack 27 month. Click on 27 month. It means 2 year plus extra 3 month we are giving you. Extra 2 month. Yeah, 3 month we are giving you. So for this Mahapack, apply the coupon code Y391 for the maximum discount. Thank you so much, class.